Achieved.
Hello, and welcome into Studio de Heffrey. It is nice to see everybody today. What are y'all up to? All right, we got some good content for you today. A little bit of draft content, maybe a little bit of non-draft content, of course, going through some of the things that you guys ask about. That's what I'm here for. Make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and you have the notifications on. Click the little bell. Make sure you don't miss a video. I'm just trying to keep you up to date, you know? And don't miss on 105.3 The Fan today at 1:40. We will have a pretty awesome announcement that you will love. I guarantee it. 1:40 today on The Fan. So I want to start with NFL draft content. My buddy at The Fan, Troy Hughes, did a mock draft roundup. He scours the web to make sure that he finds everything that is on the web. And let me just show you what he found today. This is what he found today. These are the mock drafts of 6 different people. And the names being linked to the Dallas Cowboys in the first round are safety Xavier McKinney, safety Xavier McKinney, safety Xavier McKinney, cornerback Trevon Diggs, cornerback Trevon Diggs, and cornerback Trevon Diggs. That's not very original. That's not a lot of original thought there. And I don't like it. I'm going to be honest. I don't like it. So right now, my safeties, I do have McKinney as my second safety on my draft board behind Grant Delpit. And I do have Trevon Diggs as, let's see, Okudah is my top corner, Ohio State. Christian Fulton, LSU, is 2. CJ Henderson, Florida, is 3. Then it's Gladney at TCU and Arnett at Ohio State. Then it's Diggs. So Diggs is my 6th. Now, the ceiling for him is high because he's 6'2". He's got the long arms. He's got all the athleticism. I don't think he's as good a player as some of these other corners right now. But as our buddy Dane Brugler says all the time, you're not necessarily drafting the player. You're drafting the traits and what you think the player can become. So I understand that. And with McKinney, I'm open to being wrong. I like him. If the Cowboys picked him later in the first round, I go, okay, I get it. It fits your need. He's a nice player, nice prospect. I don't see a star in him. And I'll eat that if I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. That's cool. Let's go on to Delpit, though. My guy at LSU, Grant Delpit, who also, I don't want at 17. See, what's going to happen here is we're all going to get locked in on just a few names. That's going to happen. We're going to get locked in on a few names like we are right now in the draft process. And that ain't who they're going to pick. It's not the way it's going to go down. We're going to have these names all lined up. But if you stay locked in here and you keep watching these videos as we get closer to the draft, our group does have a tendency to figure out where the Cowboys are going. We had the Tristan Hill pick weeks before the draft, and that's before the first round started. We knew who they were going to pick. We had the Van Der Esch pick way before the draft started. We'll know. At least history is we'll know. But I don't think these names are it. I don't think they're going to fall in love with these guys just because it fits a need. I'm hopeful that now that it's new people coaching, it's just kind of a whole new deal, that they're not going to be pigeonholed into, oh, you know, we have a big need at safety. Because what you got to ask yourself as an organization is, okay, let's say we're going to take the safety at 17 because we need a safety. We're going to take him. There's got to be somebody in that room who looks around and goes, okay, guys, but our best players on the board are this guy, and this guy. In 3 years, are we going to look back at this while this guy, and this guy we think are in Pro Bowls and our guy is just filling our need? Are we going to look at it and be like, God, we are stupid. What were we doing? Need will always be a factor. Need's a big reason why you might move around to try to get the right value in a draft and pick up picks. But you can't intentionally leave a bunch of better players on the board. And that's kind of my struggle right now at safety in this class, is that at 17, if the Cowboys take one, I think they'll be leaving better players on the board. If they take Trevon Diggs at 17, I think they'll be leaving better players on the board, and I don't want to see that happen. So we'll have to see how the top 16 plays out. We'll have to see if the Cowboys are going to move around, and we'll see what happens. Now, the other prospect, my guy, Grant Delpit. I say my guy as I tell you that I don't want to pick him at 17. He is the one guy that I want to give you some numbers on. This is from Pro Football Focus. If you guys know me and you know that website, you know that I don't necessarily use them for grading, but I will use them for statistics because I think they're great at that. So they did an article called Buyer Beware on these 10 2020 NFL draft prospects, and one of them is Grant Delpit. And what are they talking about? They say buyer beware of missed tackles. They say we're still higher on Delpit than anyone else on this list, their buyer beware list, but we'd be lying if we said the missed tackles didn't terrify us. Here's his whiff stats over the course of his career. 2017, he missed 8 tackles. That's 12% of the tackles he had a chance to make that he missed on. I could live with that. 2018, he missed on 19.8% of his tackles. That's 16 missed tackles. And in 2019, last season, he missed 20 tackles, which is over 25% of the tackles he had a chance to make that he missed. Now, there is no doubt that he had an ankle injury that cost him. I believe we can add a shoulder in there. There's no doubt that he had missed tackles this year that were a result of injury, but this is a 3-year thing with Grant Delpit. So if you're drafting him thinking he'll, be a great cover guy and he'll never miss a tackle, you're probably going into this with a bad expectation. So just know that there will be some bumps in the road with his tackling. I'm still a big fan of his because I'm a big fan of the instincts that I think will lead to being an NFL ball hawk. But that's Grant Delpit. Buyer beware. That's Xavier McKinney. That's Trayvon Diggs. Now, let's get to some of the questions. As always, please leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. I love using that for content. I need you. Leave it in the comments. So here's a couple of them. Rollo Tomasi. He says, why not put the non-exclusive tag on Dak? I could see Tampa Bay or Indy being interested. Trade him for 2 firsts, or a first and a fourth this year and a second next year. Sign Tannehill to a 2-year deal. Draft a quarterback. I'm tired of yelling at people about Dak. Dak's good. Dak's really good. I will say this. Tannehill was better than Dak last year. Tannehill was great last year, but he doesn't have much of a track record of being that sort of player. I do think he overachieved in Miami. I'm a bigger Tannehill fan than most. I'm not trying to get worse at quarterback, and I think that's what you're doing if you go Tannehill from Dak. I understand all the salary cap stuff, and as just a team builder, I could totally understand I want to save a bunch of money at quarterback. I want to be cheap at quarterback, rookie deals, win Super Bowls. I totally understand all that. But if you're building a team, you also have to acknowledge that what's most important right this second is this very next season. In this very next season, what is the best chance for the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl? And in my mind, that definitely involves Dak Prescott being the quarterback. That's me. If you disagree, that's cool. We don't have to fight. We can fight, depending on how ridiculous you get about it. But I think their best chance to win a Super Bowl is with Dak Prescott, because who are your top quarterbacks in the league? There's Dak haters who are like, oh, he's the 20th best quarterback in football. I can't talk to you if you believe that, because you're high. And, argue with a high guy or a drunk guy, it turns weird. But the best guys moving forward are Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, provided that he stays healthy with that style of football, Russell Wilson, maybe throw Deshaun Watson in. Some of you might throw Aaron Rodgers in, but he's getting way up there and isn't what he was, although he had a good year. So maybe those 5, and then we start kicking around what names? Dak and Wentz and Goff and Matt Ryan, and maybe off the top of my head I'm missing a guy or two. But Dak is between probably the 5th or 6th and the 10th or 11th best quarterback in football, and quarterbacks keep getting better through year 6, year 7. And he's 4 years into this and just had his best year. So I guess if you're trying to move on from Dak, my question becomes, what spot does your quarterback have to be on the list of best in the league for you to want to hold on to him? Are you just turning him over until you get Pat Mahomes? Are you willing to be bad for 10 or 12 years and find your guy? That's my struggle with the quarterback thing, because believe me, I've been on board for years with the rookie quarterback thing, where it's like, hey, if you don't have your guy, turn him over. Don't chase it with just an okay quarterback. they're in a weird spot because Dak just finished year 4 and he was really good, and I think he's going to get even better. And I don't want to give that up. I also don't want to have a $38 million cap hit for my quarterback, but that's life. So I'm saying just hold on to your guy and don't worry about it. Let's see. This guy said, Jonathan said, question for next video. Does it feel like people are overthinking Delpit? I get the tackling bad this year, but I feel like he's being overanalyzed right now. We handled that, I think, in this video. Let's see. This is Eric, as much as I love Cooper, wouldn't a trade for Odell Beckham Jr. be logical? He seems like a better fit in the system as a number 1 for Dak, and his ex-coach is here. Jerry has a lot of respect for him. If you believe in Odell Beckham, the dude, in the locker room presence, heck yeah, I'd do that trade. I really would. I know he had the sports hernia this year, but I'm one of those guys who thinks that Odell Beckham might be the best receiver in football. That might be the best receiver in football. He couldn't really run this year or stop or change direction. And he's still an okay year. And if you traded for Odell, you're paying $14 million a year. That's it. You get his base salary. That's what Odell Beckham would cost. I know I'm a nut job, but Odell Beckham is freaking electric, and I would love to have him. Let's see. King EB. I don't think I believe the rumor of making a splash in the draft, but if we would, for who? I haven't heard that rumor. But what would make a splash? Receiver always makes a splash. They won't go running back. Quarterback would make a splash. What if they went up for a quarterback, or if Tua falls in their lap? I don't think most people would view like a D tackle as a splash. So like trading up for Derek Brown or Javon Kinlaw. Okuda's not a splash, although I think he's great. Isaiah Simmons, is that a splash? No, splash is offense, is exploding for points, although maybe splash is just going up for a guy and picking somebody. CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, maybe that's a splash. Real Cowboys fan, run stuffer is what this defense needs. I don't disagree with you on that, and I've been trying to find you one. I'm working on this draft class, and I think, much like safety, talking about Xavier McKinney and Grant Delpit, much like safety, I think they're going to address that in some way, shape, or form in free agency. There's so many good D tackles available. I think they'll address that and try to free that up, but not stop them from picking a guy if it's the best guy on the board. And Christian Conte, how would you feel about signing Anthony Harris, the safety from the Vikings? He had 7 picks this year and wouldn't pigeonhole you into drafting a safety in the first 2 rounds. I'm going to have to get to the tape on Anthony Harris because I know that sounds like a really, really good year. But I'll be honest, I just haven't watched tape on him. But I'm open to that. Problem is if you had that much production and if the tape is really good, you're a double-digit million per year guy, and I don't know if they're going to do that to add a safety when there's other avenues to do it, and typically they haven't really valued it. Like a first-round pick is not the same as giving a guy $12 million a year because the first-round pick doesn't make that. In year 5, he might, but in his first 4, you get affordable, good production. So that is all I got for you guys today. Leave yours in the comments, whatever you want to talk about tomorrow, and I will get to you, boys. I got to go record the draft show, and don't forget, the fan at 1:40 today. I need your comments for content, so leave me something, and I'll do you another video tomorrow, 1:40 on the fan. Big announcement. You'll love it.